Hi, in this video I wanted to talk about the binge shopping cycle, the 7 problems that it creates, and 7 solutions to overcome this in your life. Binge shopping is the process of buying an item that you like, then experiencing remorse and regret, and then wanting to return the item. This is a cycle that you can get into very easily. We've all done it, and if it has become a regular pattern in your life, it may be causing one of the 7 problems I'm going to talk about shortly. After I talk about that, I want to talk about some solutions to put that right in your life. So the 7 problems that buying, regret, and return causes in your life are compounding. The first problem it causes is that the store may not actually allow you to return the item. They may have policies in place that say that they will refund only if there is a fault with the product. And in that situation, you are stuck with the item. If the store will return the item, if they will accept it back, they might only give you store credit. Now, this is a problem in that you will find that you then have to use up that credit within a certain period of time. And so the binge shopping cycle creates a situation where you have to pay for something, but you only get store credit back in return. A second problem with the returning process is that you might find that you experience embarrassment in returning it. You might have started up a friendship with the assistant who sold you the item, and they may have taken a lot of time to help you choose it. And so you might feel embarrassed in returning it, and so don't. A third problem is that you might find that you want to go and return it to another store because the assistants may not be as friendly as you thought, and you may get some disapproving looks, or you may experience judgment from the assistant, and so you don't want to go back and return it to that store. This causes a problem in that you have to travel to go and return the item. A fourth problem is that you may actually fear being talked into keeping it. The store may have a policy where they accept returns, but the shop assistant might be being paid on a commission, and they may talk you back into keeping the item. Or the fifth problem could be that they may sell you an additional item. So, for example, if you're trying to return a cardigan and you take it back to the store, and the shop assistant might say, "Oh, look, buy this necklace and it'll look much better with you." Under that pressure, you might find that you end up keeping the cardigan and then you have a necklace to go with it. So that's a fifth reason that you might not want to continue in the binge return cycle of shopping. A sixth problem is the time and effort it takes to return the item. You might have to go to the store in your lunchtime or within a certain period in order to be able to return it and get your money back. And a seventh problem is if that you have bought the item online, the time and effort it takes to return these online purchases, you have to ring an 0800 number, you have to register the return, you have to take it to the post office, repackage it, and resend it back. All of the things which take time and effort. So to overcome this and not experience these problems, there are certain things you can do, solutions to not get into the cycle in the first place. To avoid getting into this situation, here are 7 solutions that you can put into place to avoid getting into the binge shopping cycle in the first place. Firstly, mindful shopping. Buy with a certainty of purpose. Be really clear about why you are buying the item in the first place. Certain that you don't have anything that will fit the purpose in your wardrobe or in the house already. Also, be mindful about how you are going to pay for it. Are you going to be able to afford to pay it off in the next month? Because if you can't pay for it in the next month, your credit card will accrue interest, and therefore you might find that the cost of it is actually more than you were expecting. So be mindful about how you're going to pay for the item. Next, count the number of times that you are going to use it in the next year. If you can't think of 6 or 7 occasions where you are going to use this item, think again. Be more mindful about whether you actually need to purchase it. And the next part of mindful shopping is to ask yourself, am I going to regret buying this tomorrow? In a day or two, will you think back and regret buying the item? If you think that is the case, don't buy it. Be mindful of the purpose that you're buying it for. A second way to escape the binge shopping cycle is to slow down. Give yourself some time to think through the purchase. If you want to take a photo of it, take it home and look at it overnight and consider whether you really want to buy the item. By slowing down the buying process, you won't later regret buying it. A third way is not to let the fear of missing out overtake you. Often in the moment we're worried that someone else might buy the item, and so we rush through the purchase only to later regret it. The fear of missing out is a powerful force, and you can overcome this by reminding yourself that you can order a second one in. If they don't have your size in the store, they will be able to source it for you. There will always be another chance to purchase this item if, after considering that you really need it and you really want it, you can always get another one. A fourth way to break the binge shopping cycle is to become aware of the reasons and rationales that you use to convince yourself to buy things. We all have self-talk that runs, that encourages us to say and do things. So by becoming aware of the self-talk that you experience when you are wanting to buy something, you will be able to cut it off at the pass. Thoughts like, I deserve it, I need it, I work hard for my money. When we experience these thoughts and allow them to run, they become the convincing voice that spurs us on to purchase things. When we're experiencing this self-talk, it can be very difficult to break out of it without learning to question those thoughts. Also, take time to remember what it feels like when you have to return an item. You may feel sadness or embarrassment at having to go and return or exchange an item. If you can bring those emotions and feelings into the experience of the moment of purchase, you are less likely to go through it. If you ask yourself, if I had to return this tomorrow, how would I feel? It will help to center you and to break the automatic pattern of purchase. So step number 5 to overcoming this is to be really clear about your dreams and your goals. What I encourage people to do is to take an envelope and to put your dreams and goals onto it. Things like pay off your student loan, to travel to exotic locations like Spain, to buy a house, whatever, or pay off your credit cards, whatever your dreams and goals are, put them in an envelope. Then take your credit card and pop them into the envelope. And store your credit card in your handbag in an envelope. What this does is that when you go to buy an item that you think you might end up regretting the purchase, you have to get to your credit card, past your dreams and goals. And I can assure you that it becomes a reminder of what you are wanting long term. And it becomes much harder to do an impulse purchase that you might later want to return if you have to go past your dreams and goals to get to the credit card. I've found that incredibly effective, and I hope that it will be useful for you also. Step number 6 to break the binge return shopping cycle is, if you find that you do have to return the item, if you have considered it and realize that you don't actually want this item, is to return it with confidence. Be aware of the reasons as to why you are returning it and do so confidently. If the assistant tries to talk you into keeping the item, take a deep breath, smile, and say, "Thank you for that suggestion, and I would like to return it." And if they come up with another suggestion, just keep repeating that as a mantra. "Thank you, and I'd like to return it." You'll find that by not trying to mitigate their reasonings, you'll find that eventually the shop assistant will agree and refund the purchase. "Thank you, I'd like to return it." Take a deep breath, center yourself, and go through with those words like a mantra. It'll work a treat. The 7th solution to breaking the binge shopping cycle is to decide to live intentionally. Have a new purpose for the way that you shop and the way that you are living with your money, and be firm with yourself. Once that you have a clear intention about how you want to live your life, and you'll find that it becomes much easier to avoid impulse shopping and break the binge shopping cycle. If you have found this helpful, I encourage you to like and share this video and subscribe to the channel. Each week I post helpful videos on how to find freedom from shopping. I've also put a link to my Facebook group where you can find additional resources to help you break out of binge shopping and also impulsive and excessive shopping habits. I look forward to seeing you in your group and look forward to meeting you. Bye for now.